Hey Steelers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into our Steelers video today. We're going to jump into my 53-man roster projections on the eve of the actual roster projections coming out. Like tomorrow we will get the actual 53-man roster, which we'll break down here on the channel. But right now, we're going to get into my specific full breakdown. Before we do though, type me down below if you're excited for the season. Just go down below, type ME, the Buffalo Bills, we're 13 days away. I'm pumped for the Steelers season. Give me your thoughts in terms of typing me down below to show your excitement for, of course, the black and yellow as they're getting ready for the start of the season. But cut video starting right now. All right, so as I mentioned, right, the Steelers preseason officially over. They're done all 4 preseason games, and we are getting ready for the roster cuts. They have 80 people on the roster right now. That will go all the way down to 53 by the end of tomorrow, right? So you might see some cuts happening later today. If I'm filming this morning, though, there have been no official cuts for the Steelers yet. And, of course, tomorrow, like I said, we'll have a full breakdown of the actual roster cuts here on the channel, so stay tuned for that one. Like we said, Monday, 13 days away, Buffalo Bills. On the road, it's going to be a great wild card. Not even wild card, it's a playoff matchup, I would say. So we're getting excited and very pumped for that. But now let's jump into my 53-man roster projections. Starting with the most dramatic of all position groups, it's the quarterback spot. I think they keep Dwayne Haskins. I know we've been wishy-washy on this. We've been back and forth here on the channel. I think they're going to end up keeping Dwayne Haskins. I think Josh Dobbs will be cut. I think he'll be re-signed to the practice squad. So I'll go with Big Ben Roethlisberger 1. Mason Rudolph 2, because they basically guaranteed that by sitting him in the final preseason game. And I think Haskins has done enough to make the roster. I'd be shocked if they cut him. I really would. I think they like enough about what he's seen. I think that they like the idea of having some stability there because let's say Big Ben goes down, you got to have Rudolph and then a backup for Rudolph, and that's the role of Dwayne Haskins going into this season. So I think they will 100% keep Dwayne Haskins. I'd be surprised if they do not. Dobbs the odd man out, but Dobbs in the practice squad to me is absolutely fine, and no real worries or thoughts on that as well. Okay, be an ad break here on YouTube. Go down below to the pinned comment. Give me a grade on the Steelers roster right now. How are you feeling about this Steelers roster? Is it an A? Is it A+? Is it B, B-, C, C+? I'm feeling pretty darn good. I'm at an A- right now for the roster, mainly because the defense is just absolutely loaded. But give me your thoughts right now. Pinned comment. Grade the Steelers roster in the comment section. All right, the running back spot is in focus here for our next depth chart. I think they're going to keep 4 plus Derek Watt will be your fullback. B. Harris, I think Snell, McFarland, and Ballage are going to be the 4 running backs on this roster. There's not a lot of surprises here. I think Pittsburgh kind of tipped their hand in terms of what they want to do. I think Snell's probably going to be your number 2, but really behind Najee Harris, this is going to be a running back by committee from a backup standpoint because Harris is just expected to be that good. Multiple fantasy drafts I've watched and done so far this year, he's gone in the first 2 rounds. People are very excited to see what Najee Harris is going to do this year, and rightfully so. He was one of the best backs, if not the best back, in the National Football League last year, the College Football League last year. I think he's going to be really, really good this year. So 4 running backs plus Derek Watt is going to be my projection for the Steelers running back depth chart. Now, before we're going to keep going here, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, because as I said, this is my projection. I'm normally very close on these, but not always close because they keep one person that I didn't think they'd keep and then vice versa. And so make sure you guys are subscribed down below because that way you can be notified whenever we come out with our latest videos starting tomorrow, of course, with the roster breakdown as well as future stuff as well. So go down below and hit that subscribe button. You would not be disappointed because we are a fast growing Steeler channel. We try to do a lot of fun things here for you guys every single day. Okay, let's jump into the wide receivers. They're going to keep 5 of them. Very simple to me here. I think Smith-Schuster is 1. Claypool's going to be 2. Deontay Johnson will be 3. Washington will be on the roster tomorrow. The question is, will he be traded before the start of the NFL season? Who knows? And then Ray McCloud will be your number 5 guy, serving as the, of course, primary kick returner. I think that right now, the big focus of this roster in terms of the wide receiver depth chart is really the emergence of the health of Chase Claypool, right? He played a lot in the preseason. We're all very, very excited about him going into this year. We were worried whenever he went down with the ankle injury, but I think the fact he played into the second half of the most recent preseason game shows that he's 100% and good to go. He'll be the number 2 guy this year, and I think poised for a really big breakout year. Hopefully he can stay consistent, because that was his problem last year. He played really, really well at the start, and then consistency kind of hit him a little bit, and he fell off just a little bit there. But I think 5 is going to be your number for the wide receiver position. Now, who will be the leading receiver on this team this year? Big case maybe A for Chase Claypool. We'll type JS down below for Juju, type CC down below for Chase Claypool, and type DJ down below for Deontay Johnson. I don't think it'll be Deontay Johnson, but you never know. Maybe this is his year to go ahead and stop dropping passes and actually break out. Give me your thoughts for leading receiver down below right now. Okay, getting into the we'll go tight end depth chart first here. We'll start with Eric Ebron, Pat Freiermuth. I think Zach Gentry is going to be the third tight end that makes this a team. Kevin Radar, if you want to say his last name, is really close. It could be him. That could be one of the ones I get wrong here. But I think Gentry's done enough so far, especially late in the preseason games, to go ahead and take this roster. I'm excited to see what Pat Freiermuth is able to do this year. I think the hype around him was a little bit higher than it should have been. I mean, tight ends don't normally have good years. I mean, the Falcons are excited about Kyle Pitts right now, but Kyle Pitts is the fourth-round draft pick. Like, Freiermuth is a lot more in the range of where you would take a tight end. And so I'm hoping for a good future, but I'm not predicting a crazy good rookie year for Pat Freiermuth, the rookie out of Penn State. Offensive line, they're keeping a lot for depth. We'll go with 9 total. You see him right there with the starters alongside Trey Turner. I think the backups are going to be very simple. I think it'd be Kendrick Green, who of course started at left tackle during the preseason. And then you got Joe Hogg, Dan Moore, and then Rashad Howard, who's going to go ahead and make the roster as the final guy there. The focus here, of course, is Kevin Dotson. I mean, listen, the starters are what they are, and we're going to see if Trey Turner is going to be good this year. Zach Banner is going to have a good year as well. Right now, Kevin Dotson at center is the real focus because Dotson is going to be the presumed starter week 1. And so you want to see what the young guy's able to do. I think he's done enough so far in preseason to give a lot of confidence to the guys, but at the same time, this is your one position group, if you're a Steelers fan, that you kind of go, are they going to be good? Like you think about it, it makes my head hurt. It's like, can the Steelers' offensive line be good? I hope that they can, but those are my projections for the offensive line. I think we're sitting at 9 of them right now going into the year. All they need to be is top 20. Like, that's really all they need to be is a top 20 offensive line, and this team will still be fine. You think they'll be a top 15 offensive line? Give me a thumbs up in this video. I think they will be a top 15 offensive line. I'll see down below. Let's get like 100 likes, right? Let's get the likes up here. Give this video a thumbs up just because we're doing it, but also if you think the Steelers will have a top 15 offensive line. All right, let's jump into defensive line here. Of course, the Steelers in their 3-4. We'll go to just the D-line in general, the interior defensive line. Hayward, Tuitt, Alua, Chris Wormley, Carlos Davis, and Loudermilk are going to be your 6 defensive linemen to go ahead and make the roster. Loudermilk is a bubble guy for sure. Isaiah Loudermilk, that is. I think he's going to make the roster, though he's had a pretty darn good, at least a good enough, I should say, preseason. We go to outside linebacker. Your other pass rushers, it'll be Watt and Ingram, I think will be your 2 starters. Highsmith's going to work his way in there as well. They're very high on him, what he's been able to do from an outside linebacker perspective. Quincy Roche and Cassius Marsh are both going to go ahead and make this roster. I think your main focus here in the outside linebacker depth chart, of course, is TJ Watt. Like, what's he going to give you this year? Is he going to give you another, league-leading sack performance? Is he waiting on his contract and going to be even better, even worse? I mean, I don't know, right? I think they need to pay him. I think he wants a lot of money. We have to wait and see what is going to happen with him going forward. But I think right now, TJ Watt is the main focus, obviously, on this defense because he is an absolute stud. Okay, we're going to keep getting into the final couple of depth chart position projections. Sure, check out our friends at BetUS and their incredible promo that's still going on right now. I can't believe that it is. Just going to go chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Steelers125 for a 120% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. So you take $100, use our promo code and our link. It turns into $225, and you can bet on the Steelers, who have the 3rd best odds to win the division. Right now, you put $10 down, and then the Steelers win the division. You win $45. Put $100 down, turns into $450. I mean, a lot of money to be made right now because people are so high on the Browns, so high on the Ravens. No J.K. Dobbins. Bet on the Steelers right now with our friends at BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. All right, inside linebacker, simple. Bush, Spillane, Buddy Johnson, Gilbert, and Marcus Allen are going to go ahead and be your 4 inside linebackers there. Bush, of course, is going to be hopefully taking that next step forward. I mean, he's a great linebacker. We're all pumped whenever they drafted him a couple of years back. I think this is the year that he becomes an elite linebacker that we all consider, at least from the National Football League perspective, like this guy is absolutely fantastic. We'll put him obviously there as your starter at inside linebacker. Okay. Cornerback and depth and defensive back are next. Before we keep going, though, give me your best position group. What's the best position group on the Steelers right now? Is it wide receiver? Is it defensive end? Or I should say outside linebacker, pass rusher, whatever it is. Give me your pick for Steelers' best position group right now. I want to see what that is down below in the comment section. Okay, cornerback, Hayden, Sutton, those are the main ones to focus on here. I think Justin Lane makes the roster as well. My main focus from the terms of cornerback depth chart is how good is Cameron Sutton going to be this year? Because Hayden is what he is. He's not an elite cornerback in the league anymore like he once was. The age has been kind of a factor there. But I think he can still be really good on one side. I think we need to see a lot from Cameron Sutton. It's a position that they're a little worried about. The other cornerback spot, we thought they might go ahead and make a trade. Talk about Xavier Howard, maybe re-sign Steven Nelson. Wasn't the case. They're going to roll with Cameron Hayward. But I think 5 is going to be your number right now for the cornerbacks, and you see those up on your screen right now. Okay, let's go to defensive backs in terms of safeties. Fitzpatrick, Edmonds are your two starters. You got Norwoods and Kilbrey is going to be the last guy to make the roster there. Again, not a lot of surprises on this whole entire roster projection. I think we're getting pretty accurate here with our picks, but those are your 5 safeties. Going to be Fitzpatrick, Edmonds, Norwood, and Kilbrey. Sorry, that's 4 safeties overall who are going to go ahead and make the roster. Finally, special teams. Harwin is your punter. Boswell, of course, is the kicker because they let go of the guy who was challenging him. I'm forgetting his name right now, but they had a kicker battle that didn't last very long. And then Cameron Canada is going to go ahead and be your long snapper. There you go. Right, less than 10 minutes, we jumped in here, gave you my full roster projection. How'd I do? Right, if I'm right, if I'm wrong, give me your comments down below. We'll know if I'm right or wrong tomorrow because the cuts are happening tomorrow all throughout the day. We'll have a full breakdown of that, so stay tuned on the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed. That way you don't miss out. Hit the notification bell as well because that notifies you whenever we go ahead and jump on the air. All time for today here on our Steelers Talk full roster breakdown, our full cut projection video. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed. I'm Thomas Mott as we go ahead and sign off for the rest of your day.